So what we're going to do is work with, I've got a chair and I've got a block. Neither are essential. Okay, neither are essential. We can work around it. Now, wherever you are in your house or wherever you are, there's going to be something that you're going to be able to use in place of a chair. So, like I say, please don't worry if you haven't got a chair handy. Okay, so this is going to be 20 minutes, and we're looking at a little bit of strength stuff, a little bit of stretch, and just moving. Yeah, especially if you're doing, you know, quite a lot of sitting down. We're going to get moving. So we shall begin. Right, what I'm going to do is use the back of my chair. So, like I say, if you haven't got a chair handy, use anything that you've got. So a worktop, bed, cupboard, chest of drawers. Okay, and all I want you to do is push your bottom backwards and have your hands on the top. Yeah, so it can be anything. Now, if your hamstrings are feeling quite tight where you've been sitting down, just bend your knees, and we're going to open through the shoulders. So you'll need to adjust your feet so you can get a good stretch. You're really going to push your tailbone up to the ceiling, yeah, and try and let your head come through the gap. So ears are level with the biceps. And all you're going to do here is just breathe into your back. So try and breathe into your upper rib cage for a couple of breaths. That's it, and expand and release. Remembering no pressure onto the hamstring, so just a gentle bit of warmth there. Okay, so we're stretching away. Tailbone is getting higher and higher. Shoulders are getting more open as we let that spine come down towards the ground. Now, thinking about your cat-cow, we're going to start to tuck the tailbone and arch into the low back. Okay, so we're going to pull up as you breathe out. And then as you inhale, you're going to let the head come through, and you're going to stick your tailbone a little bit higher. And we're going to do about 3 like this. So like I say, holding on to that worktop or whatever you've got handy. So exhale, start to tuck under through the pubic bone and round into the low part of your back. Really stretch it out. So if you've been sitting, this is going to be really tight. And also your shoulders are going to be tight as well. So we're working on both those things. Bit of extension through the upper back and a little bit of flexion through the low back. So exhale, draw the tummy muscles up, tucking under through the pelvis, pushing that tailbone now down to the floor. And then inhale as we open up through the chest and the shoulders. Now walk the feet in a little tiny bit. We're going to remove, if you've got a chair, we're going to remove that. So you won't need that again, maybe a little bit later. And I've got a block, again, not essential. I'm going to come down onto the mat. I'm going to lay on my side. And I'm going to have my ear onto the block. Okay, so hopefully you've got a bit of room where you are. If you haven't got a block, you're just going to cup your ear with your arm like this. And laying on our side, we're going to have our palms together and begin to do some big sweeps with that upper arm as we come around, imagining that we're drawing a circle in the sand. Let the head roll over, getting that shoulder nice and open, nice and mobile. Now, if you're left or right-handed and you've been sitting at your computer, try and think when we swap sides, the side that you're going to use your mouse and be writing with. Yeah, I want you to do a few more on that side. Okay, so we're going to try for about 8 on each side. So if you've started with your more dominant hand, then stay this side for a little bit longer. So reaching up. It's fine to open the knee if you need to. It'll get a little bit easier and a little bit warmer with each one. Reaching up. That's it, stretching up and over. Now I'm going to change sides. So like I say, you might want to do a couple of more reps this side. So whizzing ends. but you can face the opposite direction. So you'll know which side feels tighter for you when you get going. That's it. So we're just reaching, really trying to get into the chest. So where we're sitting, the chest gets very rounded. So we're going to try and open up all through the front of the chest and just get those real nice movements into the shoulder. That's it. Opening the knee if that feels good for you. And I'm going to do two more this side. If you're not quite balanced, when we finish, just do a few more of these. So if you've done more repetitions, one side and you haven't quite caught up yet. Now we're going to come down onto our front. So we're going to maneuver our way down onto our front, having our hands by the side of our ears, and try and lengthen your thigh bones away from your hips. So what I mean by that is sort of shuffle downwards on the mat and push your feet away from you. Got my hands by the side of my ears, and I'm going to take a breath in as I just think about lifting up a tiny bit through my upper body. And then we're going to hold that position as we exhale and really try and draw up through the tummy muscles. Got a little bit of glute activation. Tops of the feet are gentle into the mat, but you can feel them. Eye gaze is staying looking down, and we're going to pull the shoulders away from the ears. So thinking about working through the upper back, so as though you're trying to put your shoulder blades in your pockets. And then we exhale to roll all the way down. Bring the forehead to the mat now. Take the hands down by the sides. So your thumbs are facing inwards towards your thighs. That means your palms are up. And I tucked my nose so that it's not in the way. And I'm long through the back of my neck. And draw your core up to the ceiling. So activate your abdominals with a little bit of a glute squeeze. We'll inhale to prepare. And as we exhale, I'm going to lengthen. I'm going to pull the shoulders down, hover the hands, lengthen the body, and just lift up through the upper body a weeny bit, just a weeny bit, and try and activate that upper back again. And coming back down. Okay, and again, so we inhale to prepare, we exhale, we lengthen. So try and avoid thinking of it as a lift. Think of it as a lengthen, because I want you to get that upper back active. And then coming back down. Maybe there's a couple of inches between the nose and the floor. Now place the hands down by the side of you, push yourself up, and we find a four-point kneeling position. And from there, we're going to work on our Superman. So let's get the glutes working, the back working. So we inhale to prepare, and as we exhale, one arm, the opposite leg is going to reach out. We're really going to draw that core up to the ceiling. And inhale to place everything down, trying to imagine you have that tray of drinks on your pelvis. Exhale, changing the other side. Make sure that spine stays nice and neutral. Okay. And then see how you get on with opening up through the shoulder. So thumb's going to be up, trying to reach that arm higher without compromising the spine position. So get that shoulder nice and open, really open through the chest. So exhale to reach. Draw that belly button up. That's it. Keep as stable as you can. Reach as you exhale, thumb up. So it's almost like you're trying to hitch a ride. And then coming back down. That's it. We're going for a couple more. So exhale. Reach up and away from you. One more each side. All about adding length and movement through the whole body, just getting that core active. That's it. I'm working on lengthening the hip flexors and getting the glutes working. Right, back to that cat-cow, but this time we're in a slightly different position because we're going to stay here. So exhale, round up. A little bit of activation now, pushing the tops of the feet onto the mat. Pulling that tummy button up to the ceiling. And then we inhale, draw those shoulders down the back, arms nice and straight. You're going to look forwards, not up. Tailbone high. Exhale, round. Pull that belly button up. There's a bit of an engagement with the tops of the feet into the mat. And then inhale the other way. So pulling those shoulders down and away from you. Just head looking, eye gaze looking forwards, trying to avoid looking up. Okay, and again, one more. And inhale into that cow position. And then we find a seated position that can be however's comfortable for you. So you can low kneel, you can sit on a block, you can straddle, you can sit on sitting bones with long legs. Now, taking hold of the side of one head, one ear. Yeah, we're going to reach over, stretch out through the side of the neck and the shoulder. And I've turned my other hand up. So thumb is up. Same thing, other side. So reach and sweep, reach and sweep. Gently getting the shoulder pulled down and back. Now bring the elbows to the sides and imagine that you have 2 heavy weights into your hands here. You're going to make sure those shoulders are round and back, sitting down your back. Heavy weights, keeping the elbows pinned into your side. We're going to work on dumb waiter. Okay, now when you open the hands, draw your shoulder blades down. And then we're inhale to come back. Now, see if you can avoid flaring your chest forwards. So it's very tempting to sort of, come into a bit of extension here. So we want to really get the upper back muscles active. So as you squeeze, you should be able to feel the upper back. That's it. And then coming back round. So we're exhale. Think about holding something heavy in those hands. And inhale to come back. See if you can glue your elbows to your side as well. Exhale, that's it. Pull them in, pull them in. Shoulders coming down. Okay, lovely. Last one. Last one. Now, either keeping your seated position the way you are or changing to mermaid legs, so the SS shape. Yeah. So this one. And we're going to get the side body nice and open and work on a little bit of hip mobility as well. So we'll reach up, it doesn't matter with which arm because we're going both ways. If this position doesn't work for you, just stay where you are or sit up on a block or even hop up on your chair. Okay, so reaching up and over and then reaching up and over the other way. Big reach, try and root your pelvis down onto the mat here. Okay, so really push it down, open up the side. That's it. And again, so reach and stretch. Reach and stretch. Maybe this time we can look up towards the fingers. Yeah, pull that shoulder back. Get that chest open. And again, exhale to reach. That's it. Pull the shoulder back. See if you can look up towards the fingers. Get the chest open. Really stretch out through that side body there. Going to do one more each side. So stretch and reach. That's it. Pull up out of the side. Look up. Pull that shoulder back. And then last one, we change the legs to the other side. So if you have had your legs in a symmetrical position, we'll just repeat that again. Okay. So we've got three each side. So starting with the arm up, and we're going to exhale to reach up and over, trying to keep that pelvis nice and neutral. That's it, working on the shoulders, pulling up and back, imagining that we'd be between two panes of glass here. So getting that stretch, beginning to wake up through the side muscles as you pull yourself back up. Exhale to reach. This time we're going to try and take that eye gaze up to the fingers. And we're sort of going to pull backwards. And again. So reach and stretch, pulling backwards. And we got one more each side. One more. Reach and stretch. And last one. So reach and stretch up and over. Now, if you have a chair, we're going to use the chair for the next one. If you don't, then you're probably going to side lie. So I'll just show you quickly what we'll do if you don't have a chair. So we're going to reach around, take the foot behind us and push the hip forwards, just to get the thighs lengthened and work a little bit on that posterior tilt, trying to push into the hip flexors. Now, if you've got a chair and it's not a wheelie one, you're going to bring the foot up onto the chair, or you might have a sofa or something similar height, but just make sure it's not too squishy. Yeah, and then what we're going to do is think about just pushing the hip under to open up the front of the leg. So I've placed my foot on top of the chair. There's not too much weight on it. And then the leg that I'm standing on, I'm going to reach that arm up. Okay, I'm really going to pull up out of that side. Keep trying to tuck the pelvis under. If you're lying on your side, try not to have your head supporting, and craning your neck. You're just holding onto that foot and you're going to pull it behind you, trying to get that hip nice and open. And let's swap sides. So if you're on the floor, you're going to reach around, take the other leg. You'll have to swap to the other side. Okay, so finding that tuck under, sort of leaning that weight forwards, opening up the front of the hip, and then reaching that arm up. You're reaching same arm, same leg. Keep tucking under through the pelvis. See how high you can reach, opening up that front of the body, especially if you've been sitting. Yeah. Squeezing the glute forwards and getting those hip flexors nice and open. Reaching up. And then bringing the hands down. So if you're on your side, you're going to find a seated position. If you're standing, you can stay standing. And we're going to reach our fingers in together and stretch and pull our shoulder blades apart. Okay, so you're stretching around. Little bend through the knees, and if you're sitting, just sort of try and tuck your tailbone under a little tiny bit, opening up through that back. And then interlink the fingers behind you. We're going to push that chest up and forwards. Up and forwards and away. That's it. Really stretching, getting all of the pecs stretched and squeezing the upper back. Last breath here. Release the hands down by your sides and give yourself a couple of shoulder circles. We're going to go up and backwards. Okay, so try and avoid coming forwards, up and back. And well done. So quick 20 minutes of movement. So I hope you feel a bit better for that.